One of the things that inspired me to make this channel was when I first got my deck, I realized a fault in the compatibility system. For those of you who are not familiar, deck has 3 different colored dots when you play games. It can be green, yellow, or red. Green being the best, red being the worst, right? If a game has a green dot, that means that it's completely compatible with the deck. You should have no fucking problems running it. It should run just as good as it does in console or PC. Okay, obviously not at the same graphic settings. Like the deck, the graphics aren't as good as a top-notch PC or a PS5, obviously. Deck is more like PS4 and a half, right? At best. A yellow means that usually like the controls aren't completely optimized, or there's text that look weird on screen, but usually that doesn't affect the gameplay at all either. Like a game that's yellow can run just as good as a green game. It's just there's some minor inconveniences. Some tweaks need to be made, okay? Then you got the red dot. Means don't even fucking buy this game. It's not gonna work on your deck. Your deck's gonna fucking blow up, okay? However, there is a flaw in the system. I realized that not every game that was green ran good on deck, and not every game that was yellow or red ran that bad. So I'm like, what the fuck is up with that? So I started doing research on it, and I found out that Valve themselves, they have a rating system where after you play the game for the first time, it will ask you, when you go to quit the game, it will be like, did this game run good on deck? Yes or no? And you have the option to say yes or no. This is how they know if the game should be green, yellow, or red. They go by how many people say yes or no. The problem with the system is that they only ask you one fucking time. And it's after the first time you played the game. If you play games like Baldur's Gate 3, where once you get to the 3rd fucking chapter, the game runs much slower, that's an issue. You're not gonna fucking know if the game runs good all the way through on your first 1 or 2 hours playing the game. And unless you're a hardcore gamer, your first session is not gonna be longer than an hour. So after an hour playing the game, Valve is asking you if the game runs good through and through. How fucking flawed is that? That's why I made the channel Decks Play. Because I do not just review games on deck and tell you if the games are good or not. I tell you if the games are good or not on deck. So keep in mind when you're watching these videos, if I say a game is not good, I'm not saying the game is not good, period, in general. I'm saying the game's not good for deck, right? Because I want to make sure everybody watching this channel, they have the best deck experience. Because it's a fucking amazing system, and why wouldn't you want to enjoy the full potential of something you paid $400 to $500 fucking bucks for, right? You spend your hard-earned cash, you should get the best info you can get for your deck personally. For example, Forspoken, I think that's a good game. On deck, I think it's a fucking shit game, okay? The graphics, you have to have it low, and even then, your FPS is 30, and then even then, the game can still fucking freeze. But that game has a yellow dot, so it's a little bit justified. Let's talk about Lords of the Fallen, which I made a video on this channel not too long ago. That game has a green fucking dot, and the walls disappear on the deck. Even at the lowest graphic settings. At 30 FPS, the fucking walls disappear. They may have fixed it, 'cause I haven't played the game in about 8 months, but that should never happen to begin with, because when I played the game 8 months ago, it was still a green fucking dot. So now you see what I'm talking about? There's a lot of misinformation that's going around with the Steam Deck and what games are compatible and what games are not compatible. So that's the point of the channel. If that interests you, please hit the like button and subscribe. I will be releasing a new review at least once every 2 weeks. I'm trying to aim for once a week, 4 times a month, but at minimum, it's gonna be 2 reviews a month, once every other week. Thank you so much. Decks Play.
Belong